The trail was quiet that morning, sunlight filtering softly through the tall pine trees, birds singing in distant harmony. But in the midst of nature's peace, a sudden cry shattered the silence. A woman gasped. "Oh my God, is that a horse?" she whispered, dropping her backpack and rushing forward. Lying just off the dirt path was a massive Mustang mare, her chest heaving, eyes wide with exhaustion and pain. She was beautiful, but broken. Three hikers, out for nothing more than a scenic morning walk, suddenly found themselves in the center of something extraordinary. One of them, Jason, knelt beside the mare. "She's still breathing, but barely," he said. His hands trembled as he reached out to touch her neck. Her fur was matted with sweat and dust, and her legs quivered every few seconds. It was clear, this wild soul had collapsed from something far more serious than fatigue. The group called for help. The nearest wildlife rescue team was nearly an hour away, and the tension in the air was unbearable. They tried to offer her water, shading her with a blanket, whispering gently as if their words could ease her pain. The horse, though barely responsive, blinked slowly, tears forming at the corners of her eyes. Jason clenched his fists. "She's not just a horse," he said under his breath. "She's fighting for something. Look at her. She's holding on for a reason." When the rescue team finally arrived, the lead veterinarian, Dr. Emily Hart, immediately assessed the situation. Her eyes widened the moment she saw the mare. "This one's pregnant," she said, disbelief in her voice. "And she's in labor." Gasps echoed around the trail. The mare had been fighting through her final reserves of strength not for herself, but for the life growing inside her. Dr. Hart set to work, urgently but delicately. "We need to get her stabilized, now." The hikers watched, helpless but hopeful, as the rescue team placed 4 lines, administered pain relief, and monitored vital signs. Emily whispered softly to the mare, "You're strong, girl. You've made it this far. Don't give up now." Then the unthinkable happened. The mare's breathing slowed, and her eyes fluttered shut. Alarms began to sound from the portable monitors. Emily's voice was firm, but her eyes glistened with tears. "She's crashing. We're losing her." Jason stepped forward, voice shaking. "Please, please save her. And the baby." But as the team scrambled into action, something inside the mare shifted. Literally. Dr. Hart froze. Her hands hovered over the mare's belly, feeling a strange, rapid movement. "That's not normal," she whispered. That's not just one foal." The hikers looked at each other, stunned. "What do you mean?" Emily didn't answer at first. She leaned closer, running the portable ultrasound probe across the mare's stomach. Her jaw dropped. "There's 2, no, wait, 3. Triplets." In the wild, a horse carrying triplets was almost unheard of and nearly always fatal for the mother. The entire team went still, realizing the magnitude of what they were facing. Not only was this mare a miracle of nature, she was facing the fight of her life, and the lives of 3 unborn foals depended on what happened in the next few minutes. Jason's voice cracked as he whispered, "She was fighting for all of them." Emily nodded slowly. She knew. Somehow she knew. With a trembling hand, she pressed her stethoscope to the mare's belly and closed her eyes. 3 heartbeats. Still strong. As the screen flickered and the rescue team prepared to move her, no one spoke. Every heart on that trail beat as one, united in awe, fear, and hope. But they didn't know yet the hardest part was still to come. The forest seemed to hold its breath as the mare was carefully lifted onto a stretcher designed for large animals. Her body remained still, except for the faintest movement of her chest. The rescue team worked swiftly but gently, their hands steady despite the weight of the moment. Every step they took on the rugged trail felt like a race against time. Jason, who had been with her from the start, walked beside the stretcher, whispering encouragement as if his words alone could keep her tethered to life. "Hang on, girl. You're almost there." By the time they reached the mobile field hospital, the sun had started to set, casting golden streaks through the trees. The mare was placed in a padded stall, with wires and monitors surrounding her. The atmosphere was tense. Dr. Hart stood over her with a mixture of awe and concern. "We have a very narrow window," she told the team. "Delivering triplets is nearly impossible without complications, especially in the wild. But we don't give up on miracles." The words hung heavy in the air. No one replied, but their eyes said it all. They would fight for her. They began preparations for an emergency C-section. It was risky, but the only option. Jason stood outside the operating enclosure, eyes fixed on the mare through the clear divider. His fists clenched and unclenched over and over. Inside, Emily guided her team with focused precision. "We'll go slowly. Make the incision here. Careful, that's it." The first foal was delivered, a tiny colt, breathing but weak. A nurse rushed it to the warming station, stimulating its chest, gently wiping its face. Then came the second, another colt, smaller than the first, but crying faintly. Then the room went quiet. Emily paused. "Where's the third?" She scanned the uterus again, panic tightening her voice. "Something's wrong. The third one's in distress. We need to move fast." As the minutes stretched into eternity, the team worked in near silence, every breath shallow, every heartbeat loud in their ears. Then, at last, a third foal, a delicate filly, was lifted out. But she wasn't breathing. "No," Jason whispered from outside. "No, come on. Come on, little one." The vet techs worked quickly, massaging her chest, clearing her airway. Emily leaned over, whispering, "You've got to fight. Just like your mama." A minute passed. Then another. Then a gasp. A tiny, fluttering breath. The filly twitched, then gave a soft, shuddering cry. Cheers erupted around the room. Jason collapsed into a chair, hands covering his face, tears of joy and disbelief pouring down. Emily gently turned to check on the mother. Her breathing had stabilized, but she hadn't yet woken up. The monitors beeped steadily, but she remained still. Jason entered quietly, standing at her side. "You did it," he whispered. "You saved them all." He gently placed the filly beside her, then the two colts. As if sensing their presence, the mare's ears twitched. Her eyes fluttered. And then she opened them. The room went silent once again. Emily stepped closer. "Hey there, brave girl, they're okay. They're safe." The mare let out a deep, soft breath. She turned her head slightly, her gaze landing on her newborns. Her nose nudged the filly, then the colts, checking each one, confirming with maternal instinct that they were real. She was awake. She was alive. And so were her babies. The news spread quickly. People across the region came to hear the story of the Mustang mare who beat impossible odds to bring new life into the world. Photos of her with her three foals, a strong colt, a shy one, and a curious filly, went viral. They named her Spirit, a name that suited her perfectly. Jason visited often, bringing apples and carrots. He'd sit beside her, talking to her as if she were an old friend. "You reminded me what real strength looks like," he'd say. "You didn't just survive. You gave life." Months passed. The foals grew stronger each day, running around their pen, stumbling and laughing in the way only baby animals can. Spirit watched them closely, always alert, always proud. And then, one spring morning, the gate opened. Jason stood nearby as the team slowly led Spirit and her three foals into a wide, protected valley, her new home, free and safe. The grass swayed under the breeze, and the sun cast a golden glow. Spirit looked back once, as if to say goodbye, then trotted forward. Her foals followed, jumping and tumbling in the grass, their playful cries echoing. Jason whispered, "Run free, Spirit. You earned it." And with that, they disappeared into the wild, no longer a tragedy, but a living, breathing miracle. Because sometimes the strongest hearts don't beat for themselves, they beat for those who have yet to be born.